Hey, folks, and welcome back to Garden of Blue Roses, a Trophy Dark Incursion. Sorry about the hiatus and also the technical difficulties that we were having getting tonight's stream up, but we're back. And I am joined tonight by my friends Kai and Avery and Racius from our friend channel ADHG, which you should check out because they do a lot of fun stuff.
Appreciate it.
Can I point out that unfortunately, the captions interpreted raciest as racist, and I am so sorry.
It looks like it was raciest, as in like we're the raciest,
Oh,
right? Which is
raciest.
only marginally better, but still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say y'all probably swear less on your channel than I do on Queers Guild.
You've watched me on that show.
That's
on
true.
on there on Slay a While. You've watched
Depends
me.
on
I've
who's
cursed a lot.
guesting.
Yeah.
Listen, just because my first question for every stream is, can I say fuck?
I don't even ask that question, I just say it and then I'm like, oh.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that in front of a child watching the stream.
It's easier to
You
ask for
didn't
forgiveness.
warn me! We did an entire stream wherein Avery knew that a child was watching and didn't let me know, so I was just cussing up a storm.
It's fine. It's in the past. It's fine. Let's play our game.
Yes, so last episode, our three remaining adventurers pressed on deeper into the forest, eventually uncovering some ruins, which Kai's character Nima was very interested in. Unfortunately, before she could fully study them, Sybil, under the influence of the forest, knocked them the hell down, thus lowering her ruin score slightly. Then Clock inadvertently injured both of their traveling companions when also under the influence of the forest. They set up a arrow trap.
I was like, inadvertently when they went through the explicit effort of putting together a trap.
It was all an accident.
Which lowered their ruin score. Minutes later, Sybil and Nima turned the clock to find them covered in butterflies, and that is where we ended last episode, and that's where we'll pick up now as we press on into Ring 3.
Are they still in there? Sybil shoves Nima out of the way and heads towards Clock and like tries to shoo off some of the butterflies.
What?
Butterflies
It
like
is
flutter and
this
then land back on them.
supposed to happen?
Given the shit we've seen, it might as well. But can you stand? Can you move?
Can I, DM?
Yes, they're not preventing you from moving. When you do move, they sort of flutter up and then land back down on you. A few of the more stubborn ones just kind of cling.
I like try to flap my arms in an attempt to fly. What happens? Uh-oh.
You're breaking up a little on my end. I don't know if that's
Oh, I apologize. I
holding true for you
wasn't
as
hearing
well.
anything. I need. Okay, I can re-say what
Actually,
I said.
everyone froze on my screen, so that's a me thing. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah, how's your internet doing?
It says it's still connected. Nope. Okay.
There it goes.
There it goes.
While we wait for Vico's internet connection to reconnect, thank you so much for joining us. This true madhouse of a channel as we try our best to be entertaining.
Am I back?
You are on my end.
Fuck yeah. I can see everyone again. So, Gracious, I lost you when you started talking about flapping your arms.
They wanted to try flying
Okay.
away, I think is what they were trying to do.
Okay, you cannot
Yes,
fly.
that was.
Flapping your arms just causes clouds of butterflies to repeatedly rise from your arms and then land back down. Eventually, some of them are like, this tree branch is not staying still. This is not a great place to hang out and, like, fly away, but you've still got, like, at least a dozen just perched on your limbs and head and shoulders.
What color are these butterflies?
There are a couple, there's, like, various types. There's blue, there's yellow, uh, red, monarch looking.
Those are more orange. They got some swallowtails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agrias, butterflies, some bottle.
Okay, you know more about butterflies than I do. Don't rub it in.
I do not. I was naming butterflies from New
Animal Crossing?
Horizons.
Yes! It's the only reason I recognized any of those.
Yeah, that tracks, yeah.
Clock will just kind of like look at the ones that are sticking around. And I mean, the clock likely doesn't feel much, like it doesn't tickle because clock is made out of clock. And just should I should I do something? Do I name them? Maybe?
If you want, I don't really.
Do whatever you want. I mean, I'm gonna. This fucking sucks. And I'm going to point to where I have pulled the arrow out of my leg, I think it was. And
Yeah.
I have places to be, so.
What the hell was that about?
So, DM, can I ask, when we're taken over by the forest, like, are we cognizant of our actions, or like, what do we remember?
Broke up on me again. So many
Uh,
Don't
things.
go breaking my heart. I try. Racist was asking, are we cognizant of the forest, like taking when the forest takes over for us?
Somewhat. For you, I think you saw it as a personal, like, Sybil saw it as a personal choice that she was making to destroy the mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
I think last episode we had talked about Clock kind of running on autopilot while setting up the tripwire. So I think Clock does know that something was wrong. They wouldn't have done that necessarily on purpose, but at the time they weren't questioning it, and now that the moment has passed, they are.
okay. I don't think Clock would have any reason to lie. So, I must apologize. I was not myself when that happened. I do not want to get in your way.
Right. Well, next time you feel inclined to, shoot us with an arrow, give us some warning next time.
I will try to warn you. I might say, duck, like that.
Just like that. All right. Let's go find Miss Prissy Pants or whatever. All right.
I have picked up the crossbow and I am following the path, whatever path I can find.
All right. There is a path deeper into the forest. You can see like there maybe used to be paving stones. There's some that are still left, but they're kind of scattered, but the path that they cut through the forest still remains. And as you're walking, the kind of start getting like an itch in your nose. And then it gets worse, and it's like start to realize there is just so much pollen. There is more pollen than like you can taste it. There's so much, and you notice these big red flowers kind of bobbing along on the edges of the path, like really heavy flower heads.
Like
that-
poppies?
Yes, but bigger and like they're just the wind makes the heads kind of like well, they look harmless.
Sure.
They're definitely not the flowers you're looking for.
Yeah, they're red, you said?
Mhm. And they're definitely
So-
not roses.
As the pollen starts to pick up, I'm going to wrap my scarf around my mouth and nose to. Because I was not a Girl Scout. I am not prepared for this. I don't have any tissues in case like the pollen really starts to get to me. I don't want to have to deal with like figuring out how I'm going to blow my nose. That's gross. So I'm going to use my scarf to.
Sybil's gonna point at one of the flowers and say, maybe your little friends there can hop on off and, take off, have a meal.
Locke will extend an arm and hold as many butterflies as close to the flowers as possible. Would you like to live in this flower, Samantha?
Named it Samantha.
This. Sorry, I heard someone in the other room there. This one is Samantha. This one is Timothy. And over here is Oriana. And just continues to like point out names until stopped.
I get the idea.
I love it so much.
Do
You,
the butterflies seem to be interested in the flowers at all?
I'd be so sad when I kill Clock off.
Did you catch what they said?
I heard the names.
Okay,
Now you're breaking up again. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. They want to know if the butterflies hop off.
Yes, they do start to flutter into the flowers. In fact, you notice that a lot of these flowers, my internet just went out, but my microphone is connected to your computer, so I can keep talking. A lot of these flowers are just kind of like teeming with butterflies, and them big fat roly-poly bumblebees, and other such bugs. But they're not moving super fast. They're all kind of like, some of them are kind of drunkenly like buzzing through the air. Um,
Hmm.
they're cute though.
Sybil's gonna approach one of the flowers and frantically wave away all the bugs. And if any get hit, she doesn't particularly care.
One of the bumblebees just kind of off and ground. Its legs are still moving, but it's down for the count.
You're gonna hate me for what she's about to do. She steps on the bug.
Oh,
So how
fuck.
close are you to that
Solemnly.
flower?
Pretty damn close, actually. She has gone like lean down to the stem and try and pick it.
Behind you, you hear whispering. It sounds like Nima and Clock, and it sounds like they are suggesting that they leave you behind.
Well, good luck.
Or lose you in the forest. Nima and Clock, you do not have this conversation, nor do you like have any such vision or auditory hallucination.
Yeah. Sybil will pick the flower and turn around and say, "Well, have fun getting killed without me."
I'm
Go
ahead
ahead.
of you, walking down the path.
Do I notice that they were nowhere near me, that I couldn't hear them? They're not even together.
Yes.
Okay.
Clark will just look up. Why do you say that? Are you planning on leaving?
No, yeah, whatever. Just let's go. She's gonna pocket or at least shove some of the flour into her pack, I guess, and keep going.
Clark will follow behind.
So Nima, you're somewhat ahead.
Yeah, she's not moving super fast because she was shot in the leg with a crossbow. So she's kind of limping ahead, probably a good like 20 feet, but not like around the corner and out of sight. Because also some of this is fucking creepy, and she doesn't exactly want to like get too far ahead, and they have obviously taken a different route and left her all alone in the creepy forest. So
Following behind, Sybil will call out, "Yo, girl, if you want, if you want to not die, I would suggest stick close. I'm not a fan of it either, but shit's weird out here. If you want, if you haven't realized that already, but or you could just leave you out to die. Fine by me."
I'm going to
well,
introduce
maybe
a bit of
instead
a
of
wrench to this conversation,
All right.
where Nima only hears part of what you've said, and she only hears the part that makes her worried about your intentions, rather than the part that sounds like you're reassuring her.
Okay, so what does she hear?
I think she hears the end part where you're muttering about like, or you could just die.
Okay.
And she also hears where you say like, unless you want to die, you should stick close. So Nima, how do you feel about that? Everybody's faces are a big green square on my screen. Makes me sad. I want to see your.
Oh.
um, Nima is. I mean, Nima has not been a big fan of Sybil's this entire journey so far. So it's just like grad school. And she's gonna kind of sigh and kind of turn to the others and say, well, if you would keep up instead of playing with butterflies and picking flowers, we could get to where we're going a little bit quicker.
Honey, that's the whole reason why we're here, to pick flowers. All right. We'll catch up. If we can.
You. Fuck, how you feeling?
Clock is having a moment of, say, introspection, because that bee sure got in Sybil's way, and now it is a pancake bee, and they very much do not want to become that. So, as Sybil continues to move, Clock will follow a little faster, but is like doing their best to, like, every once in a while just holding out their arms to make sure that they're not too close to Sybil. Just like, all right, I'm okay. All right, we're good.
Clock is precious.
I love them.
I'm
Sybil
so
does.
sorry for everything that's gonna happen to Clock.
Oh no, what are you doing?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Figured if you were going to take a character from me, I would at least make it as hard for you as it was going to be for me.
Oh.
So, I don't know that Clock would say much at the exchange. So yeah, just maybe kind of like tap the hands together and like, oh, adults are fighting. That's kind of it.
If nothing happens while we're walking, Sybil will turn to, turn ahead as they're walking to Clock and just say, "So what's your story? I never seen any your construction before."
My story, I was supposed to be a clock,
Hmm.
but did not turn out as I was intended, and my maker likes to say that I frustrate his ev- ev- every attempt to understand me.
Well, he's right in that regard, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Much obliged. You are a strange one, that's for sure.
Glock is just nodding along, like, yes, you are right, grown up person.
So what? You ran away from your maker, or let you go, or what happened?
No, I'm trying to find flowers for my maker. He asked he asked me to get them for him, and I want to make him happy, because I don't think I do that very often.
Well, that's a bummer. If I were any nicer, I'd
Bummer.
say sorry, but I ain't nice. So, sure you don't want these for yourself? You can do mighty things.
Flock just tilts their head. Like what?
Well, I'm not sure what's true and what isn't true. You know, I'm sure Miss Archaeologist or whatever the hell she is can tell the truth from the fiction here, but all I know is it could do many different things. Sure, it could help you in your predicament if you ever want to, change your station, as it were.
And become a clock?
If you want to be a clock, I suppose it could. It could.
Clock is considering all these new aspirations that they didn't really have going into the forest, and that up until now I thought I had a decent idea of, but now I'm thinking that maybe their ultimate goal is to fulfill their purpose and become a clock. Yeah. Clock has some things to think about. It's just like trying their best to nod sagely. What is your story?
Sybil like her shoulders tense. I ain't here to make friends. Here to find things. That's all.
Trying to remember because it's been a couple of
Question.
weeks. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
Question.
Okay.
What is the one person that you would not want to encounter in these?
The one person that would not want to encounter in these. Well, I'm looking at one of them. Um. Um. Probably. Okay. I'm making up more backstory for the cult, but probably someone in the cult. Probably someone looking to bring them back, her back. Maybe a relative. Are you gonna use this information, or are you just
Yeah.
gonna smile ominously at me?
You, for a split
Why not
second
both?
after
That's
you
true.
have finished saying your piece clock, see a flicker of a shadow between trees, and you think you hear someone calling your name, and it's a very familiar.
Her hand is immediately on the knife. Move faster. I don't
Clock,
care
like,
that you're. Yeah. Oh, I
I
don't. I
was
don't care
gonna
that
say,
your
Clock
leg
probably
is.
takes a
Yeah.
step back at this.
Yeah. I don't care that your leg's busted. We move faster. Let's go.
So
She's
Nima
whatever it
is
is.
awkwardly holding the crossbow because she doesn't have a lot of practice with crossbows. Not really her weapon of choice, but she's pretending she knows what she's doing. And so she's like hobbling a little faster.
Yeah, and as soon as her hand is like clutching the hilt of her knife, and it's like looking around, making sure that there's no more shadows, make sure she's not seeing anything else. She's she's like fighting against the paranoia really hard, but she's like, we're 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 losing that. We're wasting time. Let's go.
As they move and Clock notices the hobbling a little bit more, could they attempt to cast to use one of their rituals, Clock specifically, on on Nima's wound? Like to speed up time in that area and like see if it would help kind of heal it so it doesn't feel as bad?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
double check the
You
things here.
need
So I
a
take.
dark die, so you might raise your. What is your ruin at the moment?
I think it is 4 because I dropped it down from 5 with the crossbow stunt.
The stunt.
That was completely an accident. um, yeah. All right. Any additions, or am I going with these bad boys here?
Given
Anyone
that
have-
it's my leg, I kind of want to offer a devil's bargain.
Okay.
Go
I'm
for
listening.
Um, along the lines of, if it succeeds, awesome. If it doesn't succeed, I'm really not going to be happy with you. In a, you hurt me and now you hurt me worse, and you need to stop and stay away from me kind of way.
Okay.
Can I
Okay.
offer
That's-
another one? Can I offer a suggestion that if you fail, you do speed up the wound, but instead of making it heal it, you make it like it gets infected and you
Like
speed
it
up
gets
the
infected.
infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like bonus points. I'm fucking pissed. I don't want you to succeed at whatever you're doing, and also I am struggling.
Okay. So I have 2 civils. That's what I'm risking here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take that bargain. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, so if the dark die is tied for highest, then that means that I gain a ruin.
Is that your highest die?
So I have a light die that is a 4 and a dark die that is also a 4.
it has to roll higher than your current ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
All right.
the like your ruin is 4, so you don't gain any.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep, that is fair. Alrighty. So yeah, it is a 4 then. In either case.
Great. A 4 is a success with a complication. I'm going to spitball out an idea, and y'all can chime in with your own ideas for what the complication might be if this one does not appeal to y'all. But I think you do manage to heal it, but it heals in such a way that it is still somewhat impeding Nima's movement. It's not a perfect fix. The scar tissue and the muscle are still damaged in a way that causes her to continue to limp somewhat slowly.
Can I posit? Because I assume that the intention of healing the wound was so that Nima wouldn't be slowed down. If I'm correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. So maybe the complication is that like it fixes it, and she can walk normally for now, but there will be it'll be a permanent problem in the future.
Ooh, I actually like that one.
Yeah, if that's okay with you, Vigo, and it's okay with you, Kai.
How are we feeling about that,
Could
Kai?
I kind of add on to that and say that like the permanent problem is that because it was messing with time, like it fixes the wound, but the leg is clearly like aged a little bit
Oh
more
no.
than the rest of the body. So
You
like
gave
it's a
your
permanent problem and that like there's just,
And now she's got varicose veins just on one side.
she's got freaking Benjamin Button leg.
I don't know
I
if
was
that's a
gonna
good continuation, but that's
No, I love
I
that.
was gonna say, as someone whose sister has actually had multiple surgeries on her lower legs, I think idea of it having healed, but not due to advanced medical care, means that the muscle, just long term, the muscle and tendons are not where they should be. And so further down the line, she will have mobility issues
Okay. It's a
that I
problem
think
for
is,
tomorrow's Anima.
given that I
And
made this
what's-
character in order for her to die, I'm not worried.
Great. I think at this point it is starting to get somewhat dark. You may have to set up camp soon.
Oh God.
She's gonna turn the clock and be like, I assume you don't sleep.
I do not actually sleep, but sometimes I pretend.
All right, I won't get into that. I don't want to stop, but it's getting a little dark out, and shit we've seen, I assume it'll get worse after dark. Find a clearing.
Do we want to head a little further in and see if we can find another structure like the one that you knocked down?
Well, that thing was barely standing to begin with, so I don't see how much help it'll be. But sure, why not? Why not? Let's just wander aimlessly around here looking for a building in the middle of the woods.
Do you think a suitable clearing that is not going to draw every animal in the woods to it is a better option?
Like Sybil like clenches her fist, like she's like holding herself back. Do what you like. I'm fine clearing. Turn and like search for a clearing.
Great. Roll for it because I did want you to stop and make camp.
Okay.
Um, are Nima and Clock following her as she sets off?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
you manage, it takes you a couple, like maybe 20 minutes of walking. You do manage to find some clear space for a given value of clear. There's still these big red flowers just about everywhere. Um,
Can it be a logical assumption that is it possible for Sybil to make the connection that the flowers might have been involved in those whispers she heard? Or should I make a roll for it?
I would like you to make a roll for.
Cool. Is
I
my
think she's keyed up enough at this point
Yeah.
that it's not. She's not necessarily thinking as could be.
can my skill in security involved here?
We'll allow it.
Yay, I got a light die. Um Trying to think of any devil's bargains that could apply here.
How is Sybil attempting to make this connection? Is she studying the flowers or just doing some thinking or
I think she's mostly just thinking. She's like sees the flowers again and like has like an instinctual like a like a paranoia response to them and is trying to like think logically about the situation and trying to make connections and trying to make sure that like she's not losing it, even though she actually is losing it.
I'd like to offer a devil's bargain to you.
Okay.
Got one too.
Um, well, Gracius, if you would like to go first.
Well, I think Kai, you also look like you had something to say. Would you like to?
Go for it.
I was gonna just say that if this is like a thought process, specifically because like it's about something that makes Sybil appear weak, that if it's a failure, the devil's bargain is that this thought process is actually out loud and Sybil doesn't realize it. So she thinks it's all in her head, but is just admitting like I'm hallucinating about things that, about the people around me and like this is awful and I don't trust them and like what if maybe I'll kill them, like something like that.
Okay. I enjoy that immensely. What's yours, Pico?
My devil's bargain was somewhat similar, wherein no matter what, even if you succeed, you are still paranoid for various reasons, such as if you don't manage to succeed, you just become increasingly worried that you're being followed. If you do manage to succeed, you might start to feel that you were purposefully led in this direction. That you were
By some kind of
purposefully
game master, maybe?
that that someone meant for you to encounter these flowers upset you some way.
Okay. What was yours, Kai?
Mine was very similar to Vico's in that if you succeed, you make the connection, but your feelings about hallucinating flowers is what they are. But if you fail, you are convinced that there is at least one person out there who is following you, chasing you, whatever, and you are being pursued in your quest.
Oh boy. I really enjoy Racius's because that will give the most drama. So I think I'm going to take that one.
A very
Alright.
good one.
Okay. My rune's only 4. Oh. I don't have any help in here.
You can take a dark die if you want to sacrifice your mind or body to do this, but I don't really see how.
Baby, do I?
Yeah, the revelations are gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. All right. Okay, what's wrong? And okay, I got a 3 total. 3 is my highest, and it's my light die. So,
Is
a failure.
yeah, that is not a win for you.
It does say alternatively, the GM may allow you to succeed, but things will get worse.
Let's Gracius repeat your devil's bargain for, or
So
perhaps
this
you
thought-
want to explain what happens now.
Oh, geez. Okay. So I imagine it happening, and this is open for tinkering by anyone else. But as Sybil sees these flowers, begins to like think back through what happened and the conversation that she heard, and is just rationalizing it out like, okay, could this be connected to the flowers, or is it just them? Are they trying to set me up? And all of these thoughts, and all of these thoughts just kind of mentioned, as far as the rest of us are concerned, unprompted, are spoken out loud, and Sybil doesn't realize this at first, and so Nima and Clock just hear Sybil go on this unprompted rant about like, maybe I can't trust them, maybe there's someone out to get me, maybe it's these flowers, like I heard them talking about me, maybe I need to kill them, like maybe they're putting me in danger, those kinds of things.
And may I go on that rant?
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Love
Sybil like sees the flower, like she's like walking around trying to clear out the clearing, like swipe away any brush so there's a place for them to lay down and sleep. And she sees the flower and not again. She like looks around. She said, "I swear someone's following me. These two said they were gonna take off without me. They were gonna leave me here to die. Just take care of them first." Yeah, that sounds good. And whoever's following me, I'll make sure they get it too. Yeah. fucking flares, and she's gonna like smash as many as she can.
Big plumes of pollen just fly up as you do. Makes you feel way worse.
Shit.
Clock, being the one following Sybil, just like immediately freezes wide-eyed, uh, taking it more literally than it was likely intended.
Now I would like to throw an extra wrench into and ask Ema, who is your biggest rival back at the college? Like, who's the person where if
Probably.
they discovered this forest, like, they would hold it over you for all time?
So Nima is currently competing for tenure. There's one tenure track position in the antiquities department, and she is competing with um, what's a really shitty name?
Brenda.
I was like, what is the name of the worst white guys I've worked with?
Derek.
Eric.
Greg.
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 Oh no.
And if she is convinced that this discovery and her publication on this find is what is going to get her tenure. So if Craig were to get it, he's the kind of dude who would definitely mansplain how to walk through a forest and find a garden. And like, we've all met those dudes. So definitely she has not breathed a word of this to anyone in the hopes that he is searching somewhere else for his um, noteworthy publications.
Okay. I think that while Sybil is going on this rant, here, think you hear, just off in the darkness, around the clearing, Greg's voice and the voice of maybe like an assistant or something, and they're whispering. They're to it. Gonna have to. I'll once I get tenure, I'm gonna double that Sybil girl's pay. Um, and what it sounds like is that Sybil has been helping Greg follow you into these woods, snatch or big discovery right out from under you. Meanwhile, Sybil is losing it and talking about killing you, and Clock is freaking out. So I don't think the hallucinogenic pollen would work on Clock, so I'm just um you're just having a bad time because everyone around you is having a bad time. But how's that going for everyone?
These are probably the two people that Clock trusts the most in the world right now. And
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
it's a really bad day.
Sorry.
A
That's
real
very
tragedy here.
unfortunate.
Nima, how you feeling?
I have dealt with more difficult setbacks than one jumped up graduate assistant in my career.
I think I lost you.
Sorry, my
Hold
internet
on.
is very bad.
No, you're
That
okay.
was mine. So
Okay.
Say that again.
So Nima, I think, is hovering on the edge of the clearing, staying well away from Sybil's tantrum.
That's fair.
And um, so as she's smashing the flowers, she's just kind of pulling her scarf up. And she's like, I've dealt with more complicated obstacles than this in my career. And, one jumped up grad student is not going to get in the way of tenure for me. And just gonna keep it cool, keep it cool. And then she's the one who wants to sleep, so she goes to sleep and I can get on with my life.
Can I do something really bad?
yeah, go for it. Is this a forest working in the forest's interests
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
or this would be something that would lower your room
Mm-hmm.
score?
It's not nice. I see how much or Sybil sees how much that scarf means to Nima and like what she's doing with it. And like she's like she's like gripping.
I'm almost certain you lost that scarf in the first or second episode.
No, I think you let them keep it.
Thank you, kept. All right. Let's move on.
Yeah. She's
Go
like
for it.
white knuckling clutching her knife and she's like really thinking about it. And then once Nima goes to sleep, I have stuff to make fires, yeah. I'm assuming, yeah.
Well, unless you just came out here with like your clothes.
No, I think she would have at least gotten stuff to survive in the forest. So like she has like set up a fire and stuff like that, and she's gonna, assuming Nima is asleep. Let me check the rules for doing the production roll again. This could go badly.
Was Nima planning to go to sleep?
No.
Yeah, it sounded like she was waiting for Sybil.
Oh, okay.
It's a standoff.
It's a standoff. Yeah, she's like they're
You-
just like staring at each other. Like
They're staring at each other from across the fire. Nima is waiting for Sybil to turn away for a moment. Because you let me keep my scarf because you thought it was too mean for me to lose it in the second episode. Nima's gonna use a ritual.
All right.
As soon as Sybil turns away for a moment, she's gonna use mask. She's gonna draw her scarf up over her face. Because mask allows you to cover your face to remove yourself from others' senses.
I'm rolling a die to see whether Sybil gives and actually turns away or not. Now she stares right back at you.
You two are locked in a staring contest.
Nima's just like eating a granola bar out of her, fanny pack and not moving.
Buckwell just kind of like has probably been taking one small step forward at a time every couple of minutes, just okay, making sure it's safe and then making sure it's safe. And eventually observing this thing happening, will say, "You do not have to stay awake. I can watch out for us tonight."
Sybil will break eye contact for just a split second to look at clock.
I'm not sure I trust you with the crossbow just yet.
You do not have to give me the crossbow, but you do not have to stay awake with me. I will be okay.
Considering how keyed up and paranoid and high on, like, evil poppy pollen you both are, I do not think this comes across as a comforting statement.
Oh.
That's fair.
No. Thanks
Clock
for
is the
letting me
sober
know. I'll
friend who's
consider it.
Clock is the one sober friend whose buddies are both having really bad trips.
Can I make a suggestion? I would like to suggest a contest roll between me and Nima to see who like falls asleep first. I feel like we're gonna keep doing this until one of us falls asleep.
Yeah.
I will allow it.
Okay. So so take one light die if your occupation or background gives you an advantage. One light die for each point of ruin you currently have. And one dark die if the contest is inherently dangerous, which I don't think it is. I mean, whoever falls asleep first, shit's gonna happen to them. As many additional dark dice as you are willing to risk.
How many are you willing to risk?
So can I get one for security?
I'll
A
allow
light
it.
die? Yeah. Okay. And then I will take. I have 4 ruins, so I get 4 die, 4 light die, I should say.
Can I get a light die for obfuscation?
Did you catch that?
Yes.
Yes to
Yes.
the question. Okay.
Sorry, was I delayed? I think I might be hearing things on a delay, and I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
But yes, I will allow that.
Find more dice.
Right. Dark die. Or would you say that this is inherently dangerous?
Depends on what you two are gonna do to each other. But I don't think the staring contest in and of itself is dangerous.
Okay.
I don't think you're in danger of the staring contest killing you, so.
Okay. I'm going to take 2 dark die.
Hold a die.
I'm sorry. Next stars I shall find session.
I don't get to roll dice in this game, which is sad because I sell dice. Dice with little. Okay,
I'm
carry
going
on.
to take 1 dark dice. What is the goal of this?
So count any dice that come up in 6 so basically as many 6s. Whoever has the most 6s wins. If there's a tie, you count how many 5s. Whoever has the most 5s wins. And if there's a tie again, whoever has the most 4s and so on.
This is to see who falls asleep
Who falls
first.
asleep?
Yeah.
Or like dozes off.
Basically, who breaks the certain contest first. I got no 6s. And I got a 1, which would increase. increases my ruin by 1. So I got 5, baby.
Any 6s for Nima?
Nope.
How about 5s?
No 5s for me.
Nope.
4s?
No 4s.
2 4s.
Sybil breaks.
Nima wins. Sybil conks out.
I got 2 4s, a 3, and 3 2s.
Wow. I got 2 3s and 3 2s.
And you have bad dreams.
And I've been, oh, great.
Yeah, you have shitty dreams
Thanks.
all night.
What
Not
are
a
they
very
about?
restful sleep.
What are they about? Oh, wait, no, I'll let Kai go first.
Okay. No. My dark die was the same as my ruin, so I'm okay. Right?
Were any of the dark dice 1s?
No.
Okay, then you're fine. And contest roll is still different.
No, my dark die was a 4.
Yeah, you're good.
So Nima's gonna lay down and like pretend to sleep. And just like keep one eye open until she's pretty sure that Sybil is asleep. And then she's going to do the stupidest fucking thing any character I've ever played ever done. And she is going to get up very quietly and head back to the path.
Oh boy.
Clock, anything to say?
Damn it. Yeah, Clock would probably say, "Where are you going? It's still nighttime."
Nima has completely forgotten that Clock is there because she's been so focused on Sybil. Oh, I just need to use the little girl's room and I will be right back.
Clock is an innocent soul, and unless you'd like to turn this into something, would likely believe that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Nima is still having the worst high and paranoid as fuck, so
yeah.
she's very twitchy.
Okay. All right, I gotta roll for something here. Okay. Clock does not say anything to Sybil. Yeah. So I guess Clock will just kind
I'm
of like
not in your
wave
way.
after her. Right.
And as soon as she thinks she's out of Clock's like line of sight, she's going to do mask. She's gonna pull
Gotta
her
roll
scarf
for
up.
it.
Yep. And I get a light die because it's obfuscation.
Trying to think of any devil's bargains. Throw into a wrench. Throw a wrench in the works. There we go.
I am literally splitting the party on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't think I need a devil's bargain. I think I'm gonna fucking die.
What's your intention here? Just so I can find think of a good one.
So Nima has hallucinated that her primary rival is paying you to lead him directly to her goal, so that he can snipe that precious tenure track position.
Ooh.
So
What it? Oh, sorry. go ahead.
she's trying to get ahead of him and, by association, you as well, to get there before you do.
What are you thinking, Raises?
I was just thinking that as she's so focused on like hiding and dodging these imaginary people, that instead of making it back to the path, she ends up just walking in a circle and walking back into camp. But yeah.
I actually love that.
I like that a lot.
Are you gonna take that as your bargain? Lie that is determined to get directly in my ear and say what it wants to say, and I'm
Speak
so
your
annoyed.
piece, bug.
That's Ant-Man.
Get on my house.
It's Ant-Man.
Um,
It is. It loves you.
sure, I'll take this
God.
bargain.
Great.
I love
You
how
get
in the devil's bargain sections it says common devil's bargains include getting lost or separated from your companions. And my devil's bargain is you are unable to get lost or separated from your
You have to be with them. Joke's on you.
well, that would be the worst thing for Neba, right?
Yeah, that
To
would
be
be. Yeah.
stuck with these two.
See, she would totally take Clock with her. She hasn't had any problems with him aside from him shooting her with a crossbow. But since she has the crossbow, she's not as concerned about that now. It's just that he's trying to sneak away quietly, and subtlety does not seem to be their forte.
Yeah, that's fair. I appreciate the thought, though.
Oh.
Appreciate the jester.
Let's see this roll. How bad is it?
So I have 2 5s, one on a dark die, one on a light die. That is above my current ruin
Let
of
us
4.
check the rule.
Let me consult the rule book.
I
If it
think
rolled
that does.
equal or higher, if it rolled equal to or higher than your highest light die, it counts as a ruin roll. So yes, you gain a point of.
I gain a point of ruin.
But you do succeed at using mask. But I think for a split second as mask takes effect, it's like you haven't just become invisible, you've sort of stepped sideways in reality, and there's eyes that are staring at you from all over within this like sort of sideways space, and then you're through it and you're back like with mask up in the forest and not being stared at, but it takes its toll on you mentally. And then I guess you manage to walk, and you keep thinking that you're like on the right path, but it looks so different in the dark, and you're just like so concerned with making sure you're not leading leading your rival Greg to the prize that you end up making this big circle and step back through into camp.
How was the bathroom?
I feel like she's still invisible at this point.
Oh, no, that's
Would
completely
be
Yeah,
fair.
I've just
Yeah.
kind of like come up on the edge of the clearing.
Kleck says it anyway, just practicing for when Nima comes back, so
Aw.
it's not, you know.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, fine.
But now that it's late at night, the flowers have sort of closed and you're not like inundated with the pollen anymore, so you're thinking somewhat more clearly, but the paranoia that they put in your head is still there. The hallucinations are gone, the paranoia remains.
Nima's going to give up on escaping these guys for the night, but I would like to do one other very ill-advised thing before she lays down and tries to sleep very poorly.
Oh?
I would I Is Sybil's knife visible?
Yes.
But clutched in
Yeah,
your
she still has
hand.
it clutched in her hand. She's like sort of slumped over, or like unconscious, but still like almost has this like death grip on her knife.
I would like to make
And
an
we're
attempt
short now.
to
What would you like to do?
I would like to make an attempt to replace Sybil's knife with a stick and put her
Man.
knife into my fanny pack. I've just decided that Nima has a fanny pack.
Or I support the fanny pack.
Kind of roll with this pain.
What skills do you have? Do you think any of them would apply?
I'm leaning hard on obfuscation.
I do not believe obfuscation. Sleight of hand would help you here. I don't think obfuscation is gonna. Can take a devil's bargain to get an extra light die. If anyone has any devil's bargains to
Can
suggest.
I use a ritual?
Yes, but be careful. You're at 5 ruin.
I know.
Hmm.
Would you consider this something that Nima is doing for herself, or something that may be influenced by the forest? Okay.
It's definitely influenced by the forest.
Hell
Uh,
yeah. So what you're
she
doing is making a reduction roll. So you get a light die naturally for the reduction roll.
because she is convinced that Sybil is going to help her get to the garden and then essentially shank her. And Sybil has not disabused her of
I
this
don't think Sybil could deny that.
She could not.
at all.
All right. You get, if you're doing a reduction roll, you get to roll 1 light die. If you get less than your current ruin, you succeed at what you're doing. and your ruin increases by 1. You want to roll low.
All right. I rolled a 4!
Hey.
Yes. So, describe to me how this happens.
So Nima is going to turn to Clock and go,
Clock excels in mimicry and just does the same exact, like, just holds the pose.
this is
Oh.
beautiful. I love it. And she's going to pick up a fairly chunky looking stick. Like maybe they had collected some firewood, and so something that they had been planning on using for the fire. And she's going to just kind of creep over to where Sybil's slumped against the tree and attempt to like pull the knife in one direction while sliding the stick in to replace it in her grip.
Loving this. You already succeed, so you do manage to do that. Welcome to the stream, Oliver. He's so angry about the blinds being closed.
I think it's dark enough you can probably raise him. He's not happy about it.
Help him.
He's very upset about it.
Oh.
There you go, guy.
Oh.
Say thank you. Close enough. He did. Oh.
You did. All right.
Back to the horror.
Back to the game.
Back to the hell.
You slide the knife out and slide the stick into place. There's a moment where Sybil kind of like snorts and readjusts, and you freeze, but she doesn't wake up.
And I'm going to slide the knife into my fanny pack underneath my granola bar wrappers.
Don't litter, folks.
And then, listen, Nima's an asshole, but she doesn't litter.
She doesn't litter. Only the
Leave
worst
no
people.
trace.
Nima
litter.
is many things, but she's not a litterer.
And then she's gonna walk very quietly over to the exact opposite side of the clearing from Sybil and kind of like sit down and lean up against a tree and wait. She will probably fall asleep, but
How does Clock feel about this?
Clock has been doing the mimicry thing. I'm honestly not sure. I'm going to say that Clock ignores this because Clock has been kind of turning over an idea, another poor idea, just to kind of follow the general vibe of poor choices. And is curious if using their skill in alchemy and possibly any tools that they might have brought in that regard, if they could do something with the flowers that seem to possibly be affecting their companions so much. This could be like a moment of clarity brought on by the forest that like, hey, these are big time, these are like serious business, and possibly like taking a flower and turning it into some kind of liquid or other object, something to be used later on to cause shenanigans and problems.
So, a reduction roll of sorts.
A reduction roll of sorts. Yeah.
I'll let you have it.
Okay.
You're the only one awake right now.
Okay. All right. My ruin is not super duper high, so oh geez. Okay. I did not blink the die. All right. All right. So that is not higher, or excuse me, that is higher than my current ruin. Does anything bad happen, or does it just not? It doesn't work.
All that happens is that your betrayal will be noticed. That's all it says.
So I
Okay.
think you're still kind of, perhaps by the time morning comes, you're still sort of messing with the flowers that you picked.
Mhm.
Oh, you still reduce it by 1, but it just does get noticed.
Oh. If you get less than your current ruin, you succeed at your task and decrease your ruin by 1. You must have a different copy of whatever I'm looking at here, but I will take your word
Yeah,
for it. To go down 1
Avery
here.
has like some expanded rules.
Oh,
This-
the super cool rolls. I see.
I think we're going to cover what happens with that next episode because we've been going about an hour and a half now, which makes this the longest episode yet.
Heyo.
um,
We sort of got things done.
yeah, you got through most
Progress.
of Ring 3.
Nima has all the weapons.
Yeah.
Yes. You all fell very neatly into my trap to make you distrust each other.
It was not hard.
No,
It was very easy to do.
We didn't trust each other to begin with,
this is true.
Well,
Except
I
Clock.
mean,
except for Clock.
The clock, baby. Sweet baby.
Um,
The
I did
custody
not
hearings
kill
for
anyone this
Clock are going to
time.
be brutal.
I'll get you next time.
I tried, Vico.
I know you did.
You tried, and then everyone was like, no. We were all like, no, you're not. No, you're stuck with us.
It's like Devil's Bargain, getting lost or separated from your companions, and everyone's like, no,
No.
you must stick with us.
Well, what is worse for Nima emotionally, having to be stuck with these two chuckleheads for the rest of the journey, especially the one that she thinks is betraying her, or getting to go off alone and do her thing?
Exactly.
I also don't think
Forced
being alone
togetherness.
being alone isn't any more dangerous in these woods than being together. Being together might actually be more dangerous.
Ominous. Thank you.
checks out.
Well, you've spent the entire day plotting to kill or abandon each other, so
Sybil was gonna stick around, and then she started getting paranoid. Anyway, so yeah.
yeah. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you to my players. I'm having a lot of fun leading you through this journey. I will kill one of you next episode. That is a threat.
It's a promise.
Is it a promise? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. When's our next stream gonna be?
Wednesday, maybe.
Presumably. Probably for Destiny.
Probably for Destiny.
That's all we ever play. Yeah, and then
If anyone wants to help us with a raid, we're 2 people short.
please.
Is crossplay enabled yet?
I think it might be.
I don't think so. I think next season it's coming.
Okay. As soon as it is, I'll be right there with you. I'm
Hell yeah.
excited to jump in.
Awesome. All right. I think our next TTRPG stream will be Saturday.
Yes.
All things go to
No.
plan. No, it shouldn't. No, because we have a Ren fair to go to. That's right.
We will not be here.
No stream.
Saturday.
I give you the promise of a good stream, and then I rip it away. All right. Anyway,
As far as I shall find is Thursdays now, still every other week. So
Not this week,
we
then.
will not be doing it this week, but we will be next week. So
Hell yeah. check our socials. You'll see when we're out and about and playing stuff.
Will Sit and Slay a While be happening this Friday?
Unfortunately, no.
No, yeah.
We are taking a bit of a recess this weekend. This week is the week of mine birth, and also I'm celebrating being unemployed for the first time since 2010. So I'm
Aw.
going to be visiting my family for a little bit, and we'll also be going to the Ren Fair. So I can't bring the whole setup, and it will just be easier to take a break.
Well,
Yeah,
enjoy your
there's a lot
break.
that goes into it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You will hopefully be back on Monday
Yeah, we'll talk.
for more of this,
Yeah.
but
We'll have
life
discussions.
being what it is.
Yeah, that's how it be sometimes. But yeah, we'll see you around. Thank you again for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay
Stay
queer.
queer.
We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.